Should I just come up? Okay. If I asked anyone in the audience to right now look at their phones and see how much of their screen time was used this week, how much would you think would it be? Then, go into YouTube Shorts, or Instagram, or TikTok, or whatever platform it is that you use online, and see your screen time of that. How much do you think it would be? Now, for those who don't have that long of a screen time, good for you. It means you've been spending a lot of time off your phone. But for those who have, they might actually understand what I'm about to say. Johnny Somali, Ramsey is same, and it's this YouTube thing. But this man has been notorious as a YouTuber who wasn't that famous before. He became famous after a long time, but before that, he was simply known as the guy who had 10,000 subscribers and was just well known for bothering people. He threw like ramen noodles across a convenience store, but it wasn't that extreme yet, until he started making things really offensive and impactful. He started doing things like kissing and dancing with comfort women statues in Korea. For a little bit of context, this means that it's extremely offensive for Koreans because these comfort women statues were depictions of women who were sexually abused during the time that Japan decided to invade our country, which means that it's really, really something very personal to a lot of people because some of these women are still alive today. And for him to do such a deed, to know the context and still go after these people, really caused a large uprising in Korea. People started commenting and criticizing how this man was so bizarre in doing this deed that he became so famous. But this was not because of just him posting it on YouTube. His YouTube channel was barely 10,000 subscribers, and yet he's so famous now. Why is that? This is what's interesting about this man. It's obvious he should already be arrested, and that's all already laid down, but what's so interesting is how he became even more famous after the government decided to intervene with the situation. This sparked a lot more issues with the people because they saw it on the news. This guy was becoming more famous and people saw that. They see him on the news, they see him on TV, they see him everywhere because it's become such a big issue. But it's not that helpful that this guy is currently taking the #1 charts of almost a lot of platforms because of his audacity to do these deeds. It doesn't show that we're going to be focusing on this guy so much. They're saying that he's crazy, he's insane, but that's not the important part. The important part is what he's been doing. He's been offending these women that we should be focusing on. But instead we're all here saying, this guy's insane. He's insulting these people. And we know that. We know that he's insulting something personal, but we don't stop to think about who or what he's insulting. For a lot of Koreans, they're going to say it's bad, but then they don't take that next step to go and help these people even after they saw what kind of deeds this guy has done to them. And that's the biggest issue. This guy, who obviously has made things even more popular than before, is only taking the limelight away from all these other minorities that could be having this spotlight and getting the support that they need, but they don't. Second reason why this guy is so messed up is that he's getting more famous. Getting more famous means more people will see him, which means even more people groups are going to see them. Children, elderly, adults, all of these people are going to be able to see it. Most impacted is the youth. The children who see these guys on YouTubers' channels, or even just YouTube itself, they're going to see these people and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to copy it, but here's why. According to Michigan State University, that children are going to be able to copy all the things that they see on YouTube or other people around them. They're easily influenced and they're easily shaped into so many different things, and we don't know what they're going to turn out as. They're so malleable that seeing these things could cause them to make drastic changes. As a result, it's similar to the concept of monkey see, monkey do. They are so influenced by these things. But it's not just because they see this man, but because other people are reacting to it. They'll see their famous YouTubers or their favorite people constantly talking about this guy. And that could easily influence them. Now, YouTubers will do these because they see business. They see that this guy is getting more popular on the internet, so they will throw themselves into the mix to make sure that their videos get the views. Which means that the children who see these people would also be influenced as well. So it's a chain effect. This one guy who was doing his deeds for the sake of his views is now even more famous for all the wrong reasons. As a result, this is going to be such a bad chain reaction that we're not able to actually focus on what's needed. In essence, there are three main issues to this. First off, like I mentioned, it's pushing the spotlight away from the people that truly need it. But two, making these reactions is also really useless because of the fact that we as people can't change how long this guy is going to be sentenced in prison or even any other issues. We can't change anything legally by commenting on these videos, and yet we do. Third is that it's going to prevent the youth from being able to be more shaped with better morals, better decision-making skills, rather than just seeing these YouTubers and reacting the same way they do because they're their idols. They'll see all these things and they'll get easily influenced by them, but that's not how we want to see our future. But, thankfully, this is not always a bad thing. Sensationalization itself is not a negative thing. Only because of the way that we've seen it, it looks bad. But, had it been used in a beneficial way, it could help so many people become such focused people. So you could help these people by focusing your attention on them and maybe donating for charity. These things could be so beneficial, but it's not happening because we only see people like Johnny Somali. So sensationalization isn't that bad in itself, which is why it's like saying, a gun itself is not dangerous unless you put in a bullet and someone fires it. Without this negative thing, the concept itself isn't bad. That's why I'm saying that the platform itself isn't a bad thing. It's just a matter of how society decides to be able to use the things that they are given. To conclude, let me end by saying, I'm not lecturing people to cut off from YouTube, to throw away or delete their apps and not look at this at all, because that's impossible. No one in this entire world, most likely, would not have been able to do that, especially people who are already addicted to their phones. So don't try to take away the fact that I'm here saying you guys should pull away from all social media. I'm saying that there's a lot of different things that we should be focusing on. For example, the Comfort Women statues that I mentioned, we could be donating to these women to help support them get through their traumas, their incidents, or help the youth focus on making better morals, better ethics, better decision-making skills. Lastly, it's really important, as even me, myself, I can't make these good decisions, and no one else is going to be able to. Unless you've been extremely mature your entire life and there are specific circumstances that make this person so much more mature than regular people are, we're going to be looking up to all these different people. We're going to look up to celebrities, we're going to look up to parents, teachers, and people older than us. All these different people in society from the past generations are going to be the influencers of future and youth. So, what are we going to take away from this is that we also know for a fact that YouTube or cell phones or iPads, these things won't be gone soon. They're going to keep developing. They're going to get even better. Soon I might not even be holding these things in my hand because they're so developed. But we as a society can change. We can make changes that can actually help the youth better themselves and make better decision skills, to have a good moral compass even when going through this internet and looking through other people. So, what is the society going to do? What's our play in being able to help the children of the future learn and to kindle better things to make our society better? Thank you.